Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We only take a look at Bitcoin from an intraday perspective. Bitcoin broke above this trend line earlier today. I don't know if you watched the previous video. I talked to you in the previous video about the parameters I'm watching for today. And we had a resistance area, which I've now taken off the chart, as well as the trend line as a possible upside breakout scenario, structure, setup. The idea was if we break above the trend line and it's a convincing breakout, which, yeah, kind of looks convincing. It's just not any major breakout yet to the upside. But if it's a breakout to the upside, then I would call this already part of the next move up, not anymore a corrective bounce in this downtrend. I hope that makes sense. You know what I mean if you watched the previous video. Basically, it means that this move down that started on the 25th of August is complete. It could have seen one more low, but in that case, it shouldn't really have broken above resistance. So the fact it broke above resistance means that I'm tracking the next upside now, next move up, the next rally. And as I said in the last video, it will be the structure of this rally that will tell us a lot about the movements in the coming months about Bitcoin, weeks and months. So at the moment, yeah, we have broken. We seem to be holding this trend line as well. Interestingly, I mean, here's the Bitcoin index chart. The futures charts showed the breakout a little bit earlier, so the trend line just was located a bit differently. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But out of caution, I'd say I'm tracking now an ABC structure here to the upside in the yellow count. So the idea was, if the next rally is corrective, then this could be a bearish setup because the decline can be interpreted as a 5-wave move. So we have a wave 1 to the downside in yellow, and I'm tracking a wave 2 to the upside, ABC. At the moment, what I've labeled here as wave A is just a 3-wave move. So it's just corrective again. If it forms 5 waves, then it could still be an A wave, but it could also easily be something more bullish. So if we see 5 waves up from the Wednesday low, and it needs another higher low and another higher high for that, that would be more bullish. And then the next pullback would be a decent long trade in my view. But at the moment, it's only a 3-wave move. We can still watch for support in this newly added micro support region if there is a pullback. But if it's only a 3-wave rally, it is more clearly bearish. Yeah? So it's 3 waves up at the moment. I'm basically just watching for signals that this pullback could have started. And the support zone is 58,580 to 59,805. And that is wave B or 2 support. So wave 2B support. This would be a support region, yeah, for this pullback, which again, if corrective, would be a setup for higher. But if the rally now forms 5 waves, it would be an even better setup. Hope that's not too confusing. But yeah, overall, there's no sign at the moment for a top to be in place. But if we zoom in to the detailed count and the movement from the, So the movement from the Wednesday low is just at the moment a 3-wave move, ABC. So I can easily just label it as ABC structure. But if it can form another 4-5 pattern, and I will show that here in white now, that would be more bullish. But it also would just be a diagonal pattern. So the white count here in 5 waves would be a leading diagonal in wave 1. So, but needs another higher low and another higher high. So that's what I'm tracking. You know, what would be support for this wave 4? So when can we say that the larger pullback has started with wave 2 support or B wave support between 58,580 and 59,800? Well, it would need to be a break below the golden ratio level. So yeah, that's far away. I would say first indication is a break below 59,850. So that's then starting to get too low to be part of this rally. But yeah, I think at the moment We'll just see if it can push a little higher, which it seems to be motivated. You know, the S&P 500 also quite friendly today. If we talk about structural resistances, the next area to watch will be here most likely in terms of just structural resistance. That's around 61,600. But to get some more clarity, we can add the VRVP. This is the volume profile. Oh, did I? Oh, there it is. Yeah. That can give us some more clusters to watch. Okay, this area doesn't really come up there. It's just the next significant swing high. Actually, if we talk about VRVP volume profiles, we have some small spikes, but they are not so meaningful. I'd say around 61,000 to 80, 61,650. But yeah, it's this swing low then. Okay, so there's nothing major coming up there actually. There's quite a bit of volume down here. I would pay attention to that next swing high around 62,250. But for now, the uptrend seems not broken at all, yeah, after this breakout. And there's no sign of slowing down of momentum. So this is looking good. Please be aware that this support now that I've added, you know, after the breakout. So we've been looking for a breakout, or at least we've been watching for a breakout as a signal. Breakout happened, it now increases momentum, and now all we can do is to track support. Yeah, so this would be the support region, and I would have to adjust it as long as we go higher. Once we have a first, let's say even local top in place, I will monitor for signals that wave 2 or wave B in the yellow count has started. And I will first communicate that on Discord, obviously, for gold members, and then there will be one more update later. If you don't want to miss that update, yeah, feel free to check out or subscribe, I would say. Subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and then you get updates for Bitcoin later today here on YouTube as well. So quite interesting. I mean, what else can I say? Upside momentum still increasing. We can actually see that on the 1 hour time frame. Should really go to the RSI here, MACD. MACD shows still an increase in upside momentum on the 1 hour chart. So there's no sign at all a top is formed. Sometimes it can be useful to just add a trend line. You know, if you're tracking such an aggressive, it's not even very aggressive, but if you track an uptrend that has very limited structure, then it can be useful to just sort of add a trend line here. I'm not going to do that, but it would be an early signal then that, let's say, a local top has been established. Overall, yeah, interesting developments. At least we have a bit of a friendly day. Good news as well that the market reacted to the support region. And yeah, the next 2 to 3 days will probably be really critical, because we will get some clarity about this structure here, which again in turn will provide more clarity about Bitcoin's next movements over the next few weeks and months. Because if it's only a corrective rally, it could be a setup for the yellow count that takes us into the 40K region, maybe mid 40K region. Very, very important now, this area here, especially after a 5-wave move down. This yellow count is likely, but it will really determine on the structure that's developing now. We can't ignore the yellow count, but the white count can also still just, you know, take us higher in 5 waves. And therefore, it's so important to track the microstructures, be up to date here at the moment. I'll give my best to keep you updated, so hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.